They're strong, fast, brave, and often downright foolhardy. They are modern samurai, the Ninja Warriors. They compete in 4 stages over an obstacle course devised by fiends. Success means glory, failure means humiliation. There's nothing in between. Many try, very few succeed, but there's never any shortage of Robloxians who want the title Judah Ninja Warrior! Welcome to Judah Ninja Warrior. I'm your host, Addison Judah, and we're back after 4 long years for the 3rd installment of this competition. In the 4 years since the last tournament, the course has received a fresh coat of paint and a renewal from the ground up to keep it challenging in this modern era. Now, on this fine overcast day, we've got 100 competitors who have taken up the challenge that the course offers. But if they want to get anywhere, they'll first have to contend with Stage 1. So, here's your first look at the first stage. With a time limit of only 90 seconds, any budding ninja will need to speed through 8 obstacles that will test their ability, speed, balance, and overall strength. This stage focuses on overall skill and tends to weed out the men from the boys. Several old obstacles have been kept from the previous tournament, starting with the classic Conveyor Hill. Competitors must ride a conveyor belt and make a momentum jump onto a hill of spinning cylinders. Then they need to climb their way over before timing a leap to safety. After this comes a returning obstacle from Tournament 1, the log grip. It's been redesigned and moved to the second obstacle, and competitors will need to hang onto a log as it moves down a track with 2 drops to try and loosen your grip. Now if you survive that, you'll move on to the Pillars of Doom. This is a new obstacle. It's a classic obstacle that requires you to jump from pillar to pillar. You need good balance because the pillars are unstable and the centers are hollow, which makes it easy to trip and mistime one of your jumps. Moving on to another returning obstacle, the jumping spider. Jump off a trampoline and wedge yourself between 2 adjacent walls, then move through the walls, up, sideways, and down. A single mistake in footing or hand placement can cause you to slip, lose your grip, and plummet into the water below. The jumping spider is the hardest obstacle in Stage 1. If you pass it, you'll next have to take on the log jump. You'll have to run across 2 sets of spinning logs before jumping to a loose plank. Balancing and positioning is key to avoid toppling into the soup below. After this, an old favourite, the warped wall. You'll need to run up a half pipe and grab onto the ledge at the top, pulling yourself up and over. If you fail to make it, you'll have to run back and try again. The only way to go out on this obstacle is to run out of time. Now if you pass the warped wall, you'll be onto the shell toss. Once you jump onto the shell, it'll fall forward, requiring you to make a second jump onto a second shell, and then when this one falls, you'll need to squeeze between a gap and land onto a protruding pole. With all your remaining time, the last obstacle left is Stairway to Victory. You'll need to parkour between 3 slanted triangular platforms. The jumps are extremely long, so rushing them will definitely result in an unfortunate slip. Then, jump to a rope and scale up to hit the buzzer before time expires. Now that you're familiar with the course and what our competitors will have to take on today, I'd say there's nothing left to do except head down to the starting platform, where our first competitor is about to begin. Well, first up on the course today is number 1 HXOZ17, very famous for having never cleared the first obstacle in both of their 2 appearances so far. Let's see if they'll, maybe get past the first obstacle this time. Well, they've made the jump onto the conveyor hill, that's something. Now for the downward section. Are they going to make the leap to the dismount? No, they aren't. They completely undershot the jump. Unlucky. Maybe next time. Next up, there's number 2, Supermom the Best. It's their first appearance on the course. Let's see if they can do any better. They make the jump onto the conveyor hill, nicely done. Now for the downward section. And unlucky, they jumped from way too far forward and mistimed their jump to the dismount. Up next, number 3, Gojira 2222. And oh dear, they seem to have walked off the side of the platform there. Well, number 4 now is Jumping Axolotl. Let's see if maybe they can do better than Gojira there. Taking their time as they prepare for the first jump. Maybe a little nervous. And they've made it. And they're up onto the center of the conveyor hill. And they undershoot the jump in the same way as HXOZ. Unlucky. Well, number 5 is Volnio. In this competition, he was known as Volschwitz, formerly known as a Thunderbird. He requested that I show him as Volnio for this broadcast. Let's see how he does. Is he going to be the first person to get past the first obstacle? Now for the dismount, and he makes it! Fine form. Now onto the log grip. Hanging onto the back of the log, and he's going to get through that as well. Volnio is well known for competing in many ninja tournaments over the last year or two, and he's had some success making the second stage a few times. Now to the jumping spider, immediately jumps up. That was impressive form. He's flying through the course so far. Lands the big jump, now to the wiggle wrap, and he's through it. Now for the downward section. Very well done, and he's on to the log jam. Doing well so far. Let's see how he handles this balance obstacle. Now for the jump onto the... Oh, unlucky. He didn't get any bounce off the second log, and completely fell short. But that was a fine attempt from Volnio there. Well, next up on the course today is number 11, Warrior12524. Let's see if he's going to be able to do any better than his predecessors and become the first stage 1 clear. Warrior making his attempt, and that's unfortunate. He walks off the first jump, and he's immediately killed by one of our staff. Next up, number 12, IIOMQ Shimmer. They haven't had much success in Roblox Ninja comps as of recent, but they've always managed to do fairly well, and as of recently have been focusing more on their tower obby grind, beating their first SC recently. They're through the first obstacle, now onto the log grip. Good technique, same as Volnio there. It gets a bit wound out of shape, but they managed to hang on. Now for the Pillars of Doom. And they're not slowing down at all on that obstacle, they flew through that. Now for the jumping spider. Are they going to be able to get into the obstacle? Going for the corner, and they stick it. Now for the upward section, through that no problem. Their tower obby experience surely must be helping them here with the long jumps on this obstacle, and they seem to be getting through without much of a problem. And they're past the jumping spider. They're the second person this tournament to take on the log jam. Onto the first log, now the second one, now the big moment, and they stick it. That plank barely moved at all. Now to the warp wall. Are they going to be able to get up it in one? No, they aren't. They're going to have to run back, get another run up. Are they going to get it this time? Yes! Up it in 2. Now for the shell toss. They've got to squeeze through that second platform, and they're going to make it. They've got 18 seconds left. Last obstacle. They've not got much time left. They're going to have to speed up here. Onto the second wedge. Now the third one. And they're up it. 10 seconds left. They got to get up the rope fast. Come on, Shimmer. Can they make it? 5 seconds. They're going to make it. They have just enough time. And Shimmer is going to become our first stage 1 clear with 1.6 seconds remaining. They managed to get through with barely any time left, but that was a great performance. They should be very proud of that. And they'll be advancing to the second stage in their first time on Junior Ninja Warrior. Congratulations to them. Well, next up on the course is number 13, Zachary Bow 04. Let's see if he can continue the momentum from Shimmer and become the second clear this tournament. Onto Conveyor Hill. Up it nicely. Now for the dismounts. And they make it. Now for the log grip. We've only seen one person go out on this so far, using the same strategy as Shimmer. And oh, that was very, very close. They seemed to lose their grip at the end, but managed to hang on barely. Now for the Pillars of Doom. Through that as well. Let's see how they're going to handle the jumping spider. Getting a run up. Going for the middle. And no, they aren't going to make it. Just a little bit short. Not far enough to be able to grab onto the platform at the start. Unlucky. Well, next up is Hammerhead 20167, also known as Duke. They host their own small competition, Duke Sasuke, which I became a grand champion of 2 seasons ago. Let's see how he'll handle the course. Now for the dismount on Conveyor Hill. Is he going to make it? A little too far back, but he makes it. Just about. That was close. Now the log grip. Hanging onto the side. It's a risky strategy, but it's going to pay off. Now for the Pillars of Doom. 70 seconds left. He's got time. Now for the big jump. And he sticks it. He's through that obstacle. He's taking his time a little bit on this course. Doesn't want to make any mistakes, but he might need to speed up a bit. Now for the jumping spider. No, he doesn't make it. He tried to go sideways and it ended up backfiring for him. Unlucky. Number 15 is I Eat Noodle 7. Let's see how he's going to do. And he's going to immediately walk off. What a shame. Next up on the course is Luca33, Look33. This guy is... Well, he mains obbying. He doesn't really do Roblox Ninja that much. But of course, this course focuses a lot more on a purist skill than it does on swings. Through that first obstacle nicely. Now the log grip. Let's see if he has any issues with this. It's not an obstacle he will be used to in regular obbies, but he's through it nicely. Now the Pillars of Doom. Gets through that with no problem at all. He didn't seem to have any issue with that obstacle. Now for the jumping spider. Got to make sure you don't get jump cut on that jump up, and he sticks it. Making his way between the walls. Now for the big jump, sticks it. Now for that one stud gap. No problems at all so far. He's going to ledge grab that platform to avoid hitting his head. It's a different strategy. It works just as well. Just depends if you're comfortable doing it that way. And he's through. Now for the log jump. Onto the second log. Is he going to make it? Yes, he will. Very nicely done. Now for the warped wall. Can he get up it in one? No? Oh, yes, he does. I didn't think he made that, but he barely made it through. Now for the shell toss. Oh, he goes underneath. What a strategy. He didn't use the squeeze at all. That was risky, but he's through it. Now for the stairway to victory. One more jump left. Is he going to make it? Yes, he will. Just the rope climb left. The klaxon sounds, but it's not going to affect him. He's going to clear with time in the bag, and he's going to join Shimmer and make it to the second stage. Big GG's to Luca. That was a great run. That was pretty much flawless. And he's going through to the second stage. We'll see him later on tonight. Congratulations. Very, very happy about that. Well, we've sent 21 attempts on the course, and 2 new brave competitors have managed to get through every obstacle and advance to stage 2. While we've seen most athletes fall by the wayside, we've seen a few people break through the obstacles on the first stage, and overall, we're having better luck than we have had in previous tournaments. The scale of competitors has only gone up. Next up on the course is Piestro Hello, well known in the speedrunning community, especially with games like Roblox Penultimate Parkour Master. Let's see how he's going to handle this different kind of speedrun. And he's off. Sticks the jump to Conveyor Hill, going sideways here. Oh, and he's gone out! I thought he had that, but he's just messed up the dismount completely. Well, next up is Tiny Toast 717. He's been a breakout Roblox Ninja League star, doing very well for his team in Season 3 of that competition, and he's friends with the previous competitor. He's well known in obbying and in the Roblox Penultimate Parkour Master Anyway, he's onto the log grip now. Through that first obstacle with no problems. And he skips the landing mats entirely. You're allowed to do that. Now for the Pillars of Doom, no problems there. He's going at a pretty fast pace, skipping parts of the walkway. You can tell that he's really trying to cut corners and speedrun this course. Getting through the jumping spider with no problems. Now for the jump down, handles that nicely. He's going to ledge grab as well, similar to Luca. You can see on that ledge grab jump how Obvious treats it differently to Roblox Ninja competitors. Now for the log jam, is he going to make the jump to the plank? Yes, he will. He gets that bounce off the second log. Now for the warp wall, is he going to get up in one? Yes. Great pace. He's got more than 30 seconds left. Onto the shell toss. Is he going to make the squeeze? Yes. There's only one obstacle between him and stage 2. Now for the first wedge jump, setting it up. It's best to use up all your remaining time here to set up these jumps. Now just for the jump to the rope. He's going to make it. He's got plenty of time left, more than 10 seconds. And he's up the rope, heading to the buzzer, and Tiny Toast is going to go through to the second stage with 8 seconds left. The fastest time so far today. What a great run from him. I mean, it was flawless all the way through. There were no mistakes whatsoever. He really showed his prowess. A great attempt from Toast, and he'll be a favorite to get to stage 3. Well, next up on the course is Gamer1222B, and I'm sure he's going to be hoping to follow in the footsteps of Tiny Toast. Of course, Galaxy is more well known in the Roblox Ninja Warrior community, where he hasn't had a great... Oh dear! And he undershoots the dismount. Unlucky. Well, next up is number 25, Ninjago Hero 33. Ninjago Hero, another budding Ninja Warrior competitor. He hasn't had a great deal of success. And he's going to fail the mount! Undershooting the first jump. He didn't set it up at all, and it's backfired on him. Well, next up is Ryson's 726. Let's see if he can do any better than Ninjago. Now for the dismount on Conveyor Hill. Is he going to make it? Taking his time, and he will. He gets plenty of distance. Now for the log grip. Hanging onto the side, and it works for him. Now for the Pillars of Doom. He's got a big crowd watching his run. He's through the pillars. That obstacle hasn't been particularly deadly so far. Now for the jumping spider, which is taking out multiple competitors. Will it take out Ryson's? Oh, yes it will. He undershoots the jump to the first platform. Unlucky. Next up on the course is Zkiller 440, another budding obbyist. They showed up to quite a few of the minis we held before the competition and did quite well, so I've got high hopes for their performance. Let's see how far they can get into the stage 1. Makes that initial jump onto the conveyor hill. Now for the downward section. Are they going to be able to get the dismount? Yes, they will. That's a different strategy to previous competitors. Now for the log grip. And that was textbook. That was perfect. A little bit of lag on the dismount, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them, and they breeze through the Pillars of Doom. Now they're walking up to attempt the jumping spider. Let's see how they'll handle it. Gets a run up and manages to grab it. That was close. No! They've slipped off the first jump. They just lost their grip and fell early on into the jumping spider. What a shame. Next up on the course is Glitchy Freeze's ult, also known as Maurice, more commonly. Let's see how Maurice is going to handle the first stage, taking a second to set up. Now for the hard part of the first obstacle. And no, they overcompensated and they've messed up. What a shame. Next up on the course is a rising star in the Roblox Ninja community, HawksFan 2016. Over the last year or so, they've drastically improved their performances in competitions, going from someone who would frequently fail stage 1 to a regular appearer on stage 2 of major competitions. Most notably on Steel Castle. They've also done very well in the Roblox Ninja League, and I'm certainly excited to see how they'll handle this course, because, well, they're really a budding talent. You never know where they could get here. They could theoretically get to the second stage, because they've been doing really well as of recent. Preparing to begin their first stage run, and Hawks is off Onto the conveyor hill. Good start on the obstacle. Now for the downward section. Gotta be careful. And they're through it. A lot of people went out on that, but that was composed and controlled. Now for the log grip. The log's shaking about a bit, but they're able to hang on. Swiftly through onto the Pillars of Doom. Taking its time to set up that second jump. That's smart. Now for the jumping spider. First big test of the stage. And they're onto it very nicely. Using a different strategy to other competitors who attempted it so far. Now for the squeeze jump, they're through it. Taking their time on these jumps. They're more of a Roblox Ninja competitor than an obbyist, so they're just being extra careful, overcompensating on this obstacle. Now for the log jump. Let's see how they'll handle it. Going sideways. And for the second log. And wow, what a save! Incredible! That was an amazing save. Now the warp wall. Can they get up in it one? No, they can't. 30 seconds left. They ideally want to get up at this time. No, he's not able to. He's got to run back for a third try. Time's ticking for Hawks fan. Can he get up? No! No, he can't. The clock's running down. He needs to be fast. Can he get up? No, he's denied again. I don't think he's going to make it. There's only 10 seconds left. Come on, Hawks. No! He's run out, he's gassed out, he's run out of stamina. I don't think he's gonna make it. He's up it, but it's too late. And time ends for him, and he gets immediately flung. Oh, he just took so many tries on the warp wall, he couldn't seem to get up. Next up on the course is number 30, Bowling Ninja. A regular from Tournament 1. He went out on the first stage in his last appearance. He's been a great help to me in managing this competition, so let's see if he'll do well. And Bowling Ninja is off, going sideways like most competitors for that first jump, and he lands it. Now for the dismount. Perfect, perfectly done. Now for the log grip. Going on the side, that's risky. Oh, he almost fell off, but somehow managed to stay hanging on. Now for the Pillars of Doom. Through that with no issues. Hopefully that hasn't unsettled him. He's onto the jumping spider now. Let's see if he can make the jump on. No, he can't. He undershot the jump onto the jumping spider. What a shame. He got a little jump cut. Anyway, next up is Burning Dry Ice, also known as Gabriel. Let's see how he will handle the first stage. He's been a regular participant in the minis for this competition as well. Off he goes, onto the conveyor hill. Now getting ready to jump off, adjusting. Ooh, was a little nervous jumping off and went back to try a second time. Onto the log grip, hangs on, nicely done. Now for the Pillars of Doom. 70 seconds remaining. Gets into the second one. Now the third. No, he undershoots it and wasn't able to stick the jump to the third pillar. Unlucky. Next up on the course. Number 32, Titchell04. This is a controller player from my understanding, so he was quite insistent on having controller shift lock added for his run. Let's see how he's going to do. Setting up for the dismount, taking his time. Wants to be careful. No, he undershoots the dismount. What a shame. Next up on the course is number 33, Ashlyn Zach 1719, another fairly recognizable figure in the R&W community. Let's see how he will handle this more purist focused first stage. Now onto the dismount of the conveyor hill, taking his time to get set up properly, and it pays off. But he did burn a few seconds there. Now for the log grip. Ooh, it's very unstable, but he manages to hang on. He almost slipped off a few times there. Now for the Pillars of Doom. Taking a few seconds to set up, but he's through it. He's burning through a lot of time, just hesitating before obstacles though. Now for the jumping spider. Just under a minute remaining, and he's up. Now he's got to get through the upward section. Now the big long jump goes diagonally and sticks it. Now for the one stud gap. No, he slips off. Oh, what a shame. He had it, but he wasn't rotated far enough, so he slipped off. Next up on the course is number 34, Zuzi Coden. He's another Roblox penultimate parkour master player. Good friends with Tiny Toast, I believe. Let's see how he's going to handle the first stage. Gets onto the conveyor hill nicely. Going sideways the whole way, and a very quick dismount now for the log grip. Gets on the back. 1, 2, and he's through. Nicely done. Now for the Pillars of Doom. He's going to fly through the first jump. Takes a moment to set up for the second jump. That was a nice strategy. He kind of waited for the pillar to slide over a bit. Now for the jumping spider. Gets up very easily. Now for these long jumps. As an obbyist, they shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. And he's breezing through the obstacle. Not going to ledge grab that. And he's through and out. Now for the log jam. He's onto the back half of the course. Onto the first log. Now the second. And he's through it. Very nicely done. Now for the warp wall. 40 seconds left. He's got plenty of time here. And he's up it on his first try. 2 obstacles left onto the shell toss. Going the right way. And oh, that was close. But good camera control to fit through. He's got plenty of time left here. 25 seconds. Got plenty of time to set up these jumps. One more jump to go. And he's going to grab onto the rope. I think he's going to be the first person to beat the buzzer. The fastest clear today. 15 seconds left. And he's going to hit the buzzer with 14 seconds remaining. Zuzi Koden becomes our 4th clear of the day. And the fastest time of the day as well. That was a great run from him. Congratulations. Next up on the course is number 42, Theodoric. He's a successful YouTuber. He used to be a fairly famous obbyist, quite prominent in the ESO community. He turned to creating content on ARGs and puzzles. Let's see how he handles the first stage. Theodoric used to be fairly affluent in the Roblox Ninja community. He used to run tournaments back in 2017, 2018, but well, he stopped doing that once ESO became more of a popular obby genre, and he's getting through the first obstacles fairly quickly. Already onto the jumping spider with just under 70 seconds left. Let's see if he can get the jump onto it. Yes, he can. He goes sideways, and he's flying through the jumping spider. Gets past the jump that Ashlyn Zach failed, and he's through it. He's going at a great pace. 50 seconds left as he moves onto the log jam. On the first log, no problem. Now the second. And he's gonna... No! The plank just tipped too far and he wasn't able to get across it in time. What a shame. Well, next up on the course is number 43, Leola Lion 6. Let's see how he does on his first appearance on the course. Heading towards the conveyor hill, and he's up it. Now he's got to go for the downward section. Going diagonally, and he's going to make it. Now for the log grip. Hanging on to the back of it. Oh no! Unlucky. He, I don't actually know what happened there. He seemed to just walk off it by accident. What a shame. Well, next up on the course is number 44, Mert Missen Send Zero, also known as Melcy. This is an obbyist who I took under my wing in the last few weeks, and I helped him improve at R&W. He's been running a few competitions, so I'm hoping he'll be able to do quite well today. Otherwise, I guess my coaching wasn't that good after all. He's through the log grip without issues, just about. Now onto the Pillars of Doom. Onto the second, and the third, and he's through very nicely. Good pace as he approaches the jumping spider. Now for the jump onto it, gets it. Now he's speeding through it, doesn't want to waste any time seemingly. Now for the downward section, and he's almost through it. Yes, he's managed to get through, very nice. Now onto the back half, 50 seconds left, and he's onto the log jam. The second log, no! He goes out in the same way as Theodoric. He just didn't quite get onto the plank properly, and it just started moving too much. Unlucky. Well, next up is Shift Lockheed, also known as Shift the Gamer. Let's see how he will handle the course. He was turning up to pretty much every mini, actually. He wasn't able to clear stage 1 in any of his appearances, but he's definitely been putting in the hours to try and improve. For the dismount, gets it. No one's failed that in a few attempts, that's good. Now the lock grip. Hangs on very nicely, skips the dismount platform. Speeding through the course so far, and no! He undershoots the jump to the third pillar, and he's been eliminated. What a shame. Next up to take on the course is Fanboy and Sadboy, known in the Top Towers community as Orlix. You might recognize him if you're active in those communities. Let's see how he will handle the first stage. He's a mobile player, I believe, so hopefully that doesn't handicap him too much. There are some very good mobile players out there nowadays. And he stakes the dismount very close to slipping off there. Now for the log grip. Going sideways. Oh, unlucky. That's why you don't do it sideways, because it can get all messed up. Up on the course next is number 52, the Light Defender, also known as Ufi. He's a Polish obbyist that's been improving pretty rapidly over the last year or two. But he doesn't have much experience in Roblox Ninja Warrior, so let's see how he handles the course. Taking his time for the dismount of the first obstacle, but he gets it. Now for the log grip. 1, 2 bumps. Ooh, a little slip at the end, but managed without issues. And he makes quick work of the Pillars of Doom. Moving forward onto the jumping spider. He's going to go straight for it. And he stakes it. This obstacle shouldn't be much of an issue for him, given his extensive obbying background. He's making quick work of it. And he's through. Very nice. Plenty of time in the bag, as long as he doesn't get too caught up. Now for the logjam. Setting up. And he's through it. Didn't even make that plank fall off. Now for the warp wall. He's up it on the first time of asking. Now for the shell toss. Plenty of time in the bag as long as he can keep his composure. And he's through that, no issues at all. What a flawless run. Plenty of time. Just set these jumps up. Gets the first jump. Last failable jump. Come on. Yes. Now he's just got to jump to the rope. He gets it. And he's climbing. He's climbing. Plenty of time left. And Ufi, with an ecstatic run, is going to get through to the second stage with plenty of time left. What a great run from him. I mean, what can you say? That was a brilliant run to secure his ticket in the second stage for the first time. If we go back and watch his run, you can see he was excellent on the log grip. The jumping spider showed no issues at all. Shell toss, nothing in this course proved any difficulty for him as he moves through to the second stage. Well, taking on the course next is number 53, FGH. He's well known in the Top Towers community, pretty famous moderator, or ex-moderator rather. Let's see how he handles the course. This guy has a similar background and accolades to Ufi. He's been playing obbies for a while and he's got a decent level of skill, but hasn't proven himself in Roblox Ninja, so we'll see how he does it. Hanging onto the side of the log grip. It's a risky strategy, but he's through. Now for the Pillars of Doom. It's that first jump. Now for the second one. Ooh! Oh no! He's out. He stayed on the second one for too long, I think, and knocks it backwards. Next up is Lord Ocelot. Onto the conveyor hill. He's onto it nicely. Let's see how he handles the dismounts. Gets it. Very nice. Now onto the log grip. Let's see if he can also get through it. No issues. Oh, it's getting really unstable there, but he manages to cling on barely at the end there. He's going to get that third jump. He's going to get further than FGH, and he now approaches the jumping spider. Plenty of time on the clock. Let's see how he handles it. Doing a few warm-up jumps, and he completely undershoots that jump, and he is eliminated. Well, with half of the field down, and another half to go, we've had some great success on the course this time. We've had 5 clears, which already, with only half of the competitors down, matches the success of the first tournament. Next up, number 55, 79 protons, also known as D-Log. Let's see how he handles this. He's a mobile player who idolizes the top 1 mobile player in Max of 4, and also very active in the Roblox Ninja Association. Let's see how he will handle this first stage. He's breezed through the first obstacle, and the log grip also poses no problems for him. Onto the Pillars of Doom. Now, from what I'm aware, this guy has sunk a lot of hours into practicing stage 1. He really wants to clear, so let's hope for his success. Trying a different strategy on the jumping spider pays off for him. That's a unique strategy. Now for the big jump. Oh, what a save! Incredible! He fell onto the trip pads and managed to save himself. That's amazing. But he's gonna have to pick up the pace here because that's... Oh no! No, what happened? He just didn't turn to grab the one stud platform. Well, up next on the course is number 56, Norwegian. They're an old-timer in the Roblox Ninja community, not as active as they used to be anymore, but they've shown up for this competition, which is great. They were quite interested in taking part in this. They even reserved a place some weeks before the tournament started. And they only actually ran very close to the... Oh no! What a disaster. They've airballed it and gone out very early. What a shame. Well, up next on the course is number 57, Antonomator, also known as Businessman. This guy is another competitor who's very active in the Roblox Penultimate Parkour Master community and agility communities as well. Funny story about this guy. He was actually a very late runner. The number 57 spot had already been taken at this point, but just before I started editing, when almost all the other stage 1 runs were complete, it came out that the former number 57 was a doxer, so we had to find an emergency replacement from people who didn't end up being able to run. But he's doing well so far. He's through the first 3 obstacles with a good pace as he approaches the jumping spider. We've seen a lot of people struggle with this. He's up, but that's not half the obstacle yet. Now for the big jump, gets it. Very close, but he manages to get it. He's breezing through the rest of the obstacle. No problems. 45 seconds left as he approaches the log jam. First log, no issue. Second log, also no issues. Very close to failing again, but he's breezing through the course so far. Can he get up in 1? No, he's gonna have to run back. Build up another run up for the warp wall. Can he get it this time? Yes, he can. He might have just saved his run with that. Now for the shell toss. Only 20 seconds left. He's going to have to seriously pick up the pace here. Onto the last obstacle. Nails the first jump. Now for the second. Gets the second jump. The klaxon sounds. He's really low on time. He's going to have to fly up the rope. 5 seconds left. 4, 3. But he's going to make it with 1 second remaining. Terrific. Our emergency runner ends up clearing the first stage. What a terrific run. I mean, it was very close to the wire. He almost fell a few times, but he managed to pull through in the end, so top stuff to him. Very good job. Well, next up on the course is a competitor that many of you will be very familiar with, Blocky S Bubble No 2. He's pretty popular in the Roblox Ninja League community, and he's appeared on this course once before. He almost made it to stage 2 back in Tournament 2, but he fell just short, unfortunately. Let's see how he will handle this new, much harder first stage. Sticks the dismount to the conveyor hill. Nice. He still remembers how to do that obstacle. Going on the side for the log grip. That's risky! And it backfires. He slips off on the first bump. Unlucky. Well, next up on Judo Ninja Warrior is Andrico23, also known as Eels. Famous competitor for the Detroit Dogs in Roblox Ninja League, host of his own competition. Let's see how he's going to handle this first stage. Can he do any better than Blocky? He's off, gets that first jump, going diagonally across conveyor hill. Now for the dismount, gets it. Very nice. Going onto the back side of the log grip. Oh, it's a bit unstable. It's very unstable, but he's going to hang on. just about. Rushing through the Pillars of Doom. A bit of an unorthodox strategy to get through that. He's not really setting his character up for the jumps, but he manages it just fine. Now for the jumping spider. Onto the upward section. Now the top section. He's getting through this really nicely. Speeding through this obstacle. And he's passed it. Now for the logjam. He's got plenty of time here. He's doing pretty well so far. And no problems there either. Can he get up the warp wall in one? Nope, he's going to have to run back again. Now for his second try. Is he going to get up? No, he has to go back for a third try. He's got time to spare. He can afford this, but he's up it. Nice. 2 obstacles left, 25 seconds remaining. Can he get through? Yes, he can. He's got just under 20 seconds. Can he make it? Now for that second jump. Gets it, going sideways. No! No! He bounces off the third wedge on the stairway to victory. He was so close to landing that. He's so close to clearing, but he messed up at the last failable jump. Well, we've got to move on from that tragic fail. Number 60 on the course is Finzy158. Another competitor who showed up pretty frequently to the mini competitions before the tournament started. Let's see how he'll do. Preparing for the dismount here. No! He undershoots it and slips off the ramp. Unfortunate. Up next is Not Banner, formerly known as Banner Pie, among many other names. He showed up to 2 tournaments, I believe, in Judo Ninja Warrior 1 and 2, but he never managed to get past the second obstacle. Let's see if he can get any further. He's doesn't seem to be aware the time started. That's drained a bit of the clock, but it's okay. Might need to pick up the pace a bit, though. Can he get through the first obstacle? Yes, he can. Now, can he beat his personal record? Yes, he can. He's through onto the third obstacle. How's he going to handle these long jumps? Gets the first one. No! Oh, unfortunate. He pushed it a bit and it fell off the tracks. That's a shame. He did really well, and at least he did an improvement from his previous attempts. Well, up next is Lucy Na, former administrator in the Top Towers community. Horrific skill obbyist, so they're pretty good, and I believe they're friends with one of the most popular and successful Roblox Ninja competitors, Chloe, so maybe they'll be able to have some success. No! Oh, what happened? They just slipped off the side of the log grip, and that's an unfortunate fail. Well, we've had 66 competitors. We're 2/3 of the way through the field, and we're beginning to get to the competitors with the highest chance of going far on this course. Up next on the course, number 67, Jake Ozzy, sporting the same Detroit Dogs t-shirt as Andrico23. Let's see how he'll do on his first time on the course. And he's off. Almost jumps too late there on the first jump. Almost made an embarrassing fail, but he's managed to recover nicely. Now, Jaykazi has seen an upsurge in performances in the last year or two. He's managed to come onto the scene pretty nicely in the last few years. Let's see how he handles the Pillars of Doom. Through it nicely. Very good. So yeah, the Detroit Dogs, one of the stronger teams in the Roblox Ninja League. I think all 3 of their main players took part in this tournament, but I believe one of them didn't wear their jersey, so I'll have to see if I can remember who it is. But Jaykazi making light work of the jumping spider here. 4 obstacles down, 4 to go. Now onto the log jam. Onto that second log. Are they going to make it? Just about. That was close. Now for the warp wall, can they get up in 1? Yes, just about. 2 obstacles left. Oh no! What happened? They just jumped too early. They failed something nearly unfailable. They failed the transition between the two shells. Unlucky. I haven't seen that fail before. Well, with 67 attempts down, next up is Kid2460, also known as Zplexe, the top 1 controller obbyist in the world, although he doesn't have much experience at all when it comes to Roblox Ninja. So let's see if he can apply that obbying skill in abundance here. No! Oh! Similar to Titchell, he completely undershoots the dismount there, and he's out. Well, number 69, you all know him, you all love him, it's Rich Squigs, one of the best mobile Roblox Ninja competitors. Maybe overshadowed by Cyrus in the past, but now he's up there with the best. Let's see how he can handle this stage 1 course. So he's had one previous appearance in Judo Ninja Warrior, and if my memory serves me correctly, he failed the rolling boulder. So let's see if he can improve on that. Just about. He almost fell off the log grip there. Getting through the Pillars of Doom nicely. Now, mobile players and controller players are capped to 60 FPS, unlike PC players who can use up to 240 FPS, so when it comes to long jumps like this that you see on the jumping spider, they have an inherent disadvantage. But Rich is going pretty nicely. Going a little slowly though, he might want to pick up the pace. He's got 45 seconds left, and he's through it. Onto the back half. Let's see how he handles the logjam. Oh, that was extremely close. I've never seen anyone do it like that before. He got no bounce off the log and almost slipped off. Now for his second try on the warp wall, is he going to get up? Yes! But he's really low on time. He's got to pick up the pace. 20 seconds left. Can he handle shell toss? Yes, barely! But he's really low on time. He's only got 15 seconds left. He's going to have to speed through this last obstacle. 11 seconds. The klaxon sounds. He's got 2 jumps left. Come on, Rich. He's low on time. Is he going to make it? 4 seconds. He's going to have to be quick. No, I don't think he's going to make it. He's gassed out on the rope and he's run out of time. Oh, no. He was at the top of the rope when time expired. Maybe just 2 or 3 more seconds and he would have made it. What an unfortunate fail. Well, number 70, Tristan Master NI, a Dutch obbyist. Let's see if he can avenge Rich's fail there and go one better and press the buzzer. Going sideways seems to be the technique favored by most obbyists. Going on the corner of the log grip, that's risky, but pays off in the end. Flying through the Pillars of Doom, no hesitation. He's got a much better pace than Rich so far. Now for the jumping spider, gets that first jump. And no! Undershoots the first jump! He just rushed that first jump and sunk into the platform. And it made it so he couldn't reach that second platform. Well, number 71 on the course is DFW Hank. Good friends with Taco B from my understanding. Make of that what you will. But he was putting in a lot of hours into this course. I think he was intrigued by the high prize money on offer. On the log grip now. Oh, he got caught on it when it swung backwards, but he managed to survive. Now for the Pillars of Doom. No! He undershoots that third jump. And he's been eliminated early. He's visibly disappointed at his result there. That's an unlucky performance. Well, number 72 up is Cat Meow M. I don't know how to pronounce that, but more commonly known as Osorino. A good friend of mine doesn't seem to be aware they need to start. Oh, there we go, finally. They're a big football fan, and well, they've actually only started obbying fairly recently. I believe they beat their first SC a month or 2 ago. They've had a great rate of improvement, though. Went on the side for the log grip there, it paid off. Now for the pillars. And he's through it nicely. Approaching the jumping spider now. He's going to go diagonally for it. No, sideways. No! He gets bumped off. Not enough distant, and he got jump cut. Unlucky. On the course next, very well-known competitor, Poo Lover 12345, more commonly known as Tons. Now Tons is an up-and-coming star in Roblox Ninja Warrior. In the past year, his skills have grown immensely, going from someone who would often go out in stage 1 of competitions to a regular stage 2, even 3 appearer. In the last year and a half, he's gained a lot of skill. He's reached stage 2 in Blue Ninja Warrior, reached stage 3 in Alpha Ninja Warrior. He's been getting pretty far on a lot of major competitions, and he's managed to earn himself a high number in this tournament. So let's see, how well is he going to be able to do today? Off he goes, start of his run. A little bit of a mishap with the cameraman. Setting up for the dismount here. And he gets it. Bit of a laggy run, but it's okay. Going backwards on the log grip. He kind of changed his mind midway through there, but it pays off. No issues on the Pillars of Doom. Through that without a hitch. Moving forward. Setting up for the jumping spider. And he's up. Making his way through. Getting up. Now for the big jump. Sticks it. Through the squeeze. Now for the downward section. He's on good pace so far. And he's passed it. 4 obstacles left. Let's see how he's going to handle this balance obstacle. Going sideways. He's going to... No! He was too far to the right on the plank and it fell off in the wrong direction. And Tons is out of the competition. Let's see that again. It seemed to me as though he just seemed to land on it diagonally and he didn't get enough of a boost. And the plank fell too fast for him to recover. Next up on the course, number 74, Hyper Fantasies. He's an Australian obbyist with over 20 horrific towers completed the last time I checked. He's going at a pretty good pace across the first obstacle and he's through it. I think someone got annihilated in the background there. Hopefully that didn't distract him. Ooh, the log grip getting really out of shape, but survives it. 70 seconds remaining. This obstacle hasn't seemed to pose much issue for obbyists lately. Setting up for the jumping spider. Goes for the corner and gets it. Very nice. He's going to climb that long jump and he sticks that. Flying through. He's got over 50 seconds left, more than most people at this point. And he's passed it. Great pace. He's got a small crowd forming to watch him as he approaches the back half of this track. You can see Piestro and Tiny Toast in the background there. What a save on the logjam. Gets a little run up for the warp wall. Up it in one try. 30 seconds remaining. He's flying through this course. Can he get through the shell sauce? Just about. He's got 23 seconds left on the final obstacle. First jump done. Second jump done. Now he's just got to get the rope. He gets it. He's climbing up. Is he going to beat the klaxon? We'll see. He's at the top of the rope. He's not quite going to beat the klaxon, but he is going to clear the first stage for the first time in his Judo Ninja Warrior career with 9 seconds remaining. He is really happy about that, as he should be. Congratulations, Hyper. We'll see you in the second stage. Well, we've had quite a few clears so far. Great success. Hyper Fantasies there, becoming the second fastest clear of the day. As we now move on to competitor number 75, DJ Dilly. Very well known, very well loved in the Roblox Ninja community. If he can make this tournament count and get to stage 2. Now, DJ Dilly has appeared twice before in the past, in fact. And he's never cleared stage 1. He's never gotten close, actually. I think he failed the narrow walk in tournament 2 as his personal best. Correct me on that. So let's see if he can improve on that performance. Going on the side of the log grip. That's risky. And no! He slips off at the end! He falls off at the end of the track and isn't able to grab onto the landing mats. And he's out early on. What a shame. Next up, number 76, Java Jane 3. Now, Java Jane is new to the Roblox Ninja Warrior scene. He's another commonly regarded obbyist who's begun running comps pretty recently. I believe he ran Yasuke 8 and did somewhat decently over there. Through the first obstacle with no issues. Going on the back of the log grip. No problems there either. Moving on to the third obstacle. And he's passed it. Very nice. He's got a good run going so far. Moving on to the jumping spider. Quickly gets onto it. No problem with the jump onto it. Gets the long jump, and he's onto the back half of the obstacle. Plenty of time left. Gonna ledge grab that, and he's pretty much through it now. 4 obstacles left. Onto the logjam. Can he get the bounce? Yes! Very nicely done. That's textbook. Now for the warp wall. Can he get up and in 1? Yes, he can! Plenty of time left. 35 seconds left. Onto the shell toss. Can he get through it? Yes! Perfect so far. 1 obstacle left. All he's got to do now is not make any mistakes. Gets that first jump. Now for the second. And he's going to get it. He's almost home and dry. Just got to get up that rope now. Is he going to make it? 15 seconds left. Come on, Java Jane. He's going to do it. He's going to clear stage 1 with 12 seconds remaining. And Java Jane 3 will advance onwards to the second stage. Another excellent performance from a rookie competitor. Breezing through the first stage. No issues, no hiccups. It was an amazing run, really. He had no issues with any of the obstacles. Barely hesitated. No scares. It was honestly a textbook performance on how to get through. Well, our next competitor is number 77, Comet Wave. His first time on the course. So I thought this was his second time, but it turns out he's a rookie to this course. Let's see how he can do on his first appearance on Junior Ninja Warrior. Now, Comet Wave, he's had a lot of success in other competitions, namely Blue Ninja Warrior, I believe. He's made the second stage of. I'm not quite sure which competitions he's gone far in, but maybe this one can be a competition he can add to his track record. Oh no! What happened? He just slipped off the track at the end of the log grip, and that's a very early end to his run. What a shame. He was doing so well at the beginning, too. Well, number 78, moving on quickly, is Sen's Tricks, a former list mod in Top Towers community and a good friend of mine. He's an American hobbyist. Again, not someone who competes in Roblox Ninja competitions very often. He's got a big crowd of other hobbyists watching his run, though. No problem with that second obstacle. Bit of a laggy run, but hopefully shouldn't affect him too much. And no problem with the Pillars of Doom. Just under 70 seconds remaining. Now, Senstrix, I believe he's beaten Elegance, I think is his hardest obby. So he's a very skilled hobbyist when it comes to raw difficulty. I'm not sure how he handles speedrun hobbies, but he's doing pretty well on this so far. Upwards of 50 seconds left as he moves on to the logjam. No problem on that first log. Now for the big jump. Gets it. Very nice. Warp wall time. Can he get up at him 1? Yes, he can. He's got plenty of time left. 40 seconds. Can he get through the shell toss? No issues at all. That was perfect. He's got 30 seconds remaining. And he's flying through this last obstacle. He's not waiting around at all. If he speeds up, he might get the fastest time. 20 seconds left. Is he going to be the fastest time of the day? Yes, he will! Senstrix puts the buzzer with 17.1 seconds remaining. That is the fastest time we've seen today by a considerable margin. What a great run. That's even better than Java Jane. Well, our next competitor on the course is number 79, Kolschwitz, also known as Seabot. Let's see how he will handle his second appearance on the course. Now, on his first appearance, he went out on the jumping spire, I believe it was. But I know he's been practicing, and it's been a few years since that failed, so maybe he's honed his skills. We'll see. We've got a Hawks fan watching in the background for his run. On the log grip. No issues there. Bit of a laggy run, but should be okay. Ooh, almost failed the pillar there, but managed to climb it just about. Plenty of time left into the jumping spider. Gets it. See if he can get past it. He's flying through this obstacle. He's practically speedrunning it. Gets that drop down. 2 jumps left. 1 more, and he's through. Plenty of time left. Can he get the jump to the plank? Yes! Very nicely done. Onto the warp wall. Just over 40 seconds remaining. Can he get up in 1? No, he can't. He'll have to run back. Can he get up on the second time of asking? Bit of a laggy run. I think he froze there, but no. Has to go for a third try, and he gets it. Now for the shell toss. He's low on time. Can he get through? No, he can't. Oh, what a shame. He just got stuck between the walls and wasn't able to fit through. As night descends on the course, 20 more competitors remaining to take on the first stage. Can any of them join the brave warriors who have beaten the first stage so far? We'll just have to wait and find out. The first of the Night Runners is preparing to take on the course right now. Here we go. Welcome number 80, Rage Furious, a JTO verified builder, creator of many popular JTO towers. Let's see how he handles the first stage. He showed up to a few minis previously, wasn't able to clear the first stage in any of them, but he put on a strong showing and he's got a great understanding of obbies. No problems with the log grip, very nicely handled. Moving on to the Pillars of Doom, going sideways. No! What happened? Oh, he just walks off. He didn't even jump off that pillar, he just mistimed his jump. Well, up next, number 81, Andrew for Kids. Well-known Polish obbyist. He's completed several tier 17 obbies. Good friend of mine. He's been practicing extensively for this course. Let's see if he's going to be able to become the first night run to clear the first stage. Jumps onto the log grip. Ooh, almost slipped off the start there, but no issues. Had to correct himself to land on the mats. Flying through the Pillars of Doom. Walking up to take on the jumping spider now. Let's see if he can stick this. Going onto the side, and he gets it. Setting up each long jump carefully. We've seen a few people rush this obstacle, but you don't really need to make it with time to spare. No issues with any of that. Onto the back half. Just under 50 seconds left. Can he handle this unorthodox balance obstacle? Going sideways, almost tips over, but he just manages to stick it. Now for the warp wall, up it, first try. Plenty of time left now, onto the shell toss. Can he get past it where Seabot couldn't? No, he can't! He jumped too late and banged his head on the bottom of the platform you're meant to fit through. What an unfortunate mistake. Well, number 82, Roblox Polish Player 4. Another very well-known obbyist in both circles, in Roblox Ninja and in tiered obbying. So he's got a lot more experience than other hobbyists who might be attempting this course. Let's see how he does. No problems with the first part of the conveyor hill. He's passed it, no issues, very nicely controlled. He's got a big crowd watching him. You can see Arthro Day, Volnio, Fomlom, who... Oh, what happened? No! He slipped off the log grip. He just seemed to fall off halfway through it. What a terrible mistake. And Polish goes out early. And now I have to kill him. Rest in peace. The next competitor to take on the course, number 83, Juken, also known as Mason. Let's see if he's going to have any more success than the previous obbyist to come onto this course. Going diagonally up the conveyor hill. Good strategy. And sticks the dismount, no problem there. Now for the lock grip. We've seen a few obbyists go out on this. Can he handle it? Yes, he can. No! What happened? Oh my god, he just barely undershot the jump and bounced off. He had the jump, but he just bounced off the end. And Mason takes an early dive. Up next, number 84, Ladiv, well known for doing some interesting things in the JTO community, let's say. But he is also a fairly successful obbyist in his own right, so that's why he scored as high number as he did. Can Ladiv improve on the performances of the previous obbyist before him? It can't be that hard. Let's see how he can do. Taking his time to get the dismount, barely sticks that. He was pretty close to falling off. Perfectly through the log grip, now for the Pillars of Doom. Going sideways. He's rushed it and he's fallen, and he immediately leaves the game. Wow. He just undershot that jump and rage quit. Well, you all know her, you all love her. It's Jamie Dorino up next, number 85. Host of Robloxian Sasuke, successful mobile Roblox Ninja hobbyist. She's reached stage 2 in many major competitions. Let's see how she can do on the Judo Ninja Warrior course. Taking her time for the dismount on Conveyor Hill, and she gets it. Bit of a laggy run, but oh, cameraman bugs out, and no! She slips off the log grip. She went sideways, it seemed. Not a recommended strategy, and it backfired. Unlucky. Maybe next time she'll have more success. Well, number 86 now, Ramp 0707, the #1 obbyist in Korea. He's beaten multiple horrific towers and multiple tier 17 obbies, and he was invited personally by me as an international competitor to take part. Now I know Ramp has been putting in the hours on the course, really wants to succeed. He's representing all of South Korea here. Easily through Conveyor Hill, going on the back for the log grip. That's the strategy that seems to work for most people, and it works for him. Now onto the Pillars of Doom, going sideways, taking a moment to set up each one, and it works. Very nicely done. He's got good time as he makes his way to the jumping spider. Gets that. Huge jump off the trumpet. Making his way through the topmost section of the obstacle. No issues at all. Climbs that. And he gets a climb jump off there as well. Doesn't want to take any risks, seemingly. He's got good time. Just needs to keep a steady pace through the rest of the obstacles. Is he going to get through the logjam? Yes, he will. Can he get up the wall in one? No problems at all for Ramp. This is a great run so far. What about the shell toss? Is he going to have any issues? None at all. Perfectly sticks that. Over 20 seconds left. He goes straight onto the stairway to victory. One more jump to go. Gets it. Just got to get onto the rope. And Ramp is going to stick their place in the second stage. Just got to get up the rope now. Klaxon sounds, but it's not going to matter. Ramp advances to stage 2. A great run. No flaws, no issues. And that is how you safely progress to stage 2. Excellent work. Those hours they put in practice really paid off for them then. Well, with 86 down, we're beginning to approach the very best of the best, the elites, those who you would expect to make it deep into this tournament. We've got a mix of newcomers, veterans, regulars coming up, all competitors who are seated high given high numbers due to their top performances. And up next is number 87, Zero Gravity. He's an obbyist who's been running competitions for a few months now, and has beaten, I think, over 10 horrific towers at this point, beginning to push towards being a top obbyist. Let's see if he can cement his place in the second stage here. No issues on the Conveyor Hill, really speeding through that obstacle. Now, Zero Gravity, he's someone who I've taken under my wing somewhat in the last few months. You know, I introduced him to Roblox Ninja Warrior, had him run a few comps, and, well, his ceiling for skill is extremely high. He could go really far. Let's see how he handles the jumping spider. No problems there. This is the hardest obstacle on the course, at least by fail rates. But he's breezing through it. There's the downward sections, no issues at all for him. Really nice. Zero's looking very confident as he heads towards the logjam, sorry. Now for that second log. Ooh, it tips, but he manages to keep it level. Now for the warp wall. Can he get up in one? Nope, he's going to have to run back. Build up momentum for another attempt. What about this time? Yes, he will get up it, just about. 2 obstacles left. Let's hope that hasn't damaged his nerves. Easily through the shell toss. Now he's just got to keep his cool. Plenty of time in the bag. Can he make it? Time for that first wedge jump. Sticks it. One more jump left. Can he get it? Setting up, taking his time. He sticks it. 10 seconds left. He's got to fly up this rope if he wants to make it. He's low on time, but he's going to make it just about with 3 seconds remaining. Zero sticks his place in the second stage. That was really close. He made a mistake on the warp wall. He was a little shaky towards the end, but he held his nerves. He got through, and we'll be seeing him in the second stage. Up next, a competitor that's very famous in the Roblox Ninja community circles. It's Flordigit, also known as Basebeak. Now Basebeak, Flordigit, he's been a prominent competitor over the last, 5, 6, 7 years. achieving Kanzen Seiha in Rising Ninja Warrior, almost achieving Kanzen Seiha in Blue Ninja Warrior, Ninja Coolio Warrior. He's done it all, really. He's gone through every major competition, made it far in more competitions than I can count. Over the course of years, he's managed to stay on top of his game, staying among the best, the elite in the Roblox Ninja community, always a favourite to become the last man standing in competitions, no matter which one it is. It's really impressive that over so many years he's managed to stay on top of most of the community. Now, this is his first run at Judo Ninja Warrior. Maybe he'll have beginner's luck, maybe he'll struggle with these unfamiliar obstacles, but let's see how he'll do. Onto the conveyor hill, no problem there. Setting up for the dismount, no issues. Now onto the log grip. No problem so far, seems very comfortable. This is an obstacle he'll be familiar with and absolutely no problems. Very smooth, very calm, flying through the pillars of doom, no hesitation. Moving up onto the jumping spider now, we've seen a lot of strong competitors go out here, but he manages it without even hesitating. I think he's trying to go for the speed record here. 55 seconds remaining as he heads onto the downward part of the jumping spider. No issues, going sideways and he's through it. Now onto this balance obstacle. He's got to use an unfamiliar technique, he's got to bounce himself. Ooh, very nice. No problems there for him. He handled that without any issues at all. Up the whoop wall in one. He's flying through the course. What a great run so far. He's really showing his experience. No problems on the shell toss. He's got plenty of time left. Just 2 more long jumps to go. Gets the first one. Can he get the second one? Yes, he can! And he grabs onto the rope and he's hauling himself up. He's got plenty of time left. What a great run. And Flordigit is going to go through to the second stage with 16 seconds remaining. That's the second fastest time today. What a great run. I mean, he tore through the course. He had no issues on any obstacle, no slip-ups, no close calls. It was an amazing run. Even on the obstacles where he might not be as familiar, on the purest obstacles, the long jump obstacles, he didn't have any issues. And Flordigit has really cemented himself as a contender to make it to the third stage. Our next competitor is a veteran from Judo Ninja Warrior 1 and 2, Scalical, also known as Skillful Jack 239. He's appeared on both Judo Ninja Warriors. In the first Judo Ninja Warrior, he made it to the second stage with 15 seconds left, but he ultimately went out on the balance tank. In his second appearance, he struggled more, going out on the jumping spider when he made a slight mistake and fell off the last jump. Let's see if he can come back after 4 years of absence from Judo Ninja Warrior and make it back to the second stage. Scalical, preparing. And he's off. Gets that first jump, he's avoided embarrassments at least. Now can he get through the first obstacle? No problems. Onto the log grip. He's never failed earlier than the 4th obstacle, so let's see if he can improve. Maybe get to the second stage again. Flying through the pillars of doom. He's going at just a faster pace as Basebeak. Onto the jumping spider. Choosing a different strategy, gets on. Now he's got to make his way through. He's flying through. No! He undershot the long jump. He didn't properly take time to set it up. And he's out on the jumping spider again. What a shame. You can see he just kind of barely undershoots that jump. Didn't jump late enough and landed on the caution tape, which will ragdoll you, as we saw with 79 protons. Well, we've seen 89 people take on the course, and we're finally down to the top 10 competitors to take on Stage 1. There are only 10 people remaining. Starting us off, we have number 90, Kfly100. His first time taking on Judo Ninja Warrior, he's shown great success in the Roblox Ninja League, Blue Ninja Warrior, among many other competitions. He's a rising star. Let's see how Kfly will handle this first stage. Seems to have missed the lamp there, but oh well, he's off. No problem with the start of the conveyor hill. We've not seen anyone struggle with that obstacle for some time now. Onto the log grip, wow, it's wobbling around a lot, but he manages to cling on. Bit of a laggy run, but it's alright. Onto the pillars of doom. Through it, no problem. Easily manages those jumps. He's got a crowd forming in the background of runners we'll see later on, his friends. Onto the jumping spider. Now he's got to carefully make his way through. Oh no, what happened? He got caught in the wiggle wrap and he slipped off halfway through the ascending portion. And K-Fly takes an early dive into the drink. And he is out. And he is not happy. He is raging really hard. What a shame. Well, next up on the course, moving on quickly, we have another veteran of Judo Ninja Warrior, AA6's Fan 2, also known as Wooby. He's appeared once before, reaching the second stage, unfortunately going out on the first obstacle. Let's see if he still holds up. Let's see if he's still got what it takes years later to make it to the second stage again. And he's off. Taking his time setting up the first jump. He's through it nicely. A little cautious. Now for the dismount on Conveyor Hill. No! He undershot the dismount of the first obstacle, something he never struggled with before. And Wooby takes an early dive into the water. What a shame. That is sad. And he's mad as well. Oh well. Well, we have 8 competitors remaining. Number 92, Forsaken 2008 XS, is one of the last remaining pure obbyists we have to take on the Judo Ninja Warrior course. He's beaten many horrifics. He's been on the rise in recent months, gaining a lot of skill very quickly, and he's really put in the hours of practice. Let's see how far he can get. I've got high expectations for Forced. Hesitating a little before setting off, but he's finally going. Wasted about 5 seconds there, but it's okay. He'll just have to keep up a good pace. And he's through Conveyor Hill. He jumped very, very early there, but he manages to get through. Onto the log grip. Can he hang on? And he's out. Oh, an early exit for Forced. He was going on the back like you're meant to, but the log shook a bit and it dislodged his grip. Well, leading on from Forced, we have number 93, Jiang Formi, another extremely successful, talented obbyist who is invited to take part in this competition. Jean has risen through the ranks in the last 2 to 3 years, moving on from horrific skill all the way to unreal skill. He's beaten towers that no one else has beaten. He was the verifier of Tower of Qwerty Uyop, which was at the time the #1 hardest tower ever beaten. And he only continues to grow in skill and potential. This is his first time taking on a Ninja Warrior course, so compared to Tower Obbies, this is a new experience for him. Let's see how he'll do. And out of the traps he goes, sticks that first jump, no problem. I'm not expecting him to struggle with any of the purest obstacles on this course, given that he's probably one of the best players in the world when it comes to purism right now. Let's see how he handles the log grip. Ooh, he went to go for the skip, but he changed his mind. Flying through the Pillars of Doom, no problem with that at all. Onto the jumping spider, we can see Cloy, who'll run soon, in the background. Getting through it quite nicely. No issues so far. Gets the big jump. Now for the downward section, can he get it? Gonna ledge grab that, no problems. 50 seconds remaining. Plenty of time as long as he doesn't make any mistakes onto the logjam. How is he going to handle this unorthodox obstacle? Setting up. He's going to go sideways. And oh, that was very close. He almost fell off there, and he's not triggered the regen for the warp wall. He's going to have to run back. That's going to drain about 5 seconds. Should be okay if he can get up in one, which he does. Just under 30 seconds left onto the shell sauce. Gets that first jump. Now for the squeeze. No! What happened? He just didn't seem to fit through. He jumped early, and I don't know, it was a really uncharacteristic mistake by him there to go out in such a fashion. Let's get a replay of that, I think. So we're just watching. Gets that first jump, no problem. And then he's going for that squeeze, and yeah, he just jumps early. Doesn't get enough of a turn in, and gets caught on the walls trying to fit through. Well, we're down to our last few competitors now. We're really reaching the end of the first stage. This is where people mean business. The strongest competitors in Roblox Ninja, the people who have done best on Judo Ninja Warrior in the past, are up next. Number 94, Yas 123451. Now Yas is a competitor that cemented himself in the Roblox ninja scene over the last 2 to 3 years. He's managed to make himself one of the greatest, most well-respected competitors in the modern era. He's achieved Kanzen Seiha in Blue Ninja Warrior 20. He's achieved Kanzen Seiha in other major competitions. He's a very consistent competitor and someone who loves to go fast. We'll see him hopefully push for the fastest time on stage 1 today, and hopefully we'll see him manage to go far like he has in many other competitions. Yas on the start line, preparing to set off, and off he goes, going diagonally. No problems with this first obstacle. Cleanly through onto the log grip. Going on the back like many other competitors have opted to do. No issues there for him. Now Yas, it's his second time running on Judo Ninja Warrior. In his first appearance, he went out on the rolling boulder like many others did that tournament. Obviously, he was a lot less experienced back then. He's grown his skill a lot more in recent years. Gets the long jump on the jumping spider. Making his way through the obstacle cleanly. Setting a good pace as well, but he's not going too fast. He's being cautious. You can see his friend Bowsy Pie in the background there. Through the logjam, no issues, much cleaner than Zhang for me. Can he get up the warp wall in 1? Yes, very nice. Plenty of time on the clock here. 35 seconds left. Can he handle the shell toss going left? We haven't seen many people go that way, and he's through it. Onto the stairway to victory. 2 jumps away from making it to the rope. Just over 20 seconds left. Can he get this last jump? Yes, he can! Can Yas grab the rope? Yes! He's just got to haul himself up. He's not going to get the fastest time, but he is going to beat the klaxon, and Yas is going to go through to the second stage with 13 seconds remaining. An excellent run. No flaws, no mistakes, clean as you like, and he's going to push through onto the second stage. Up next, number 95, Dip Keijo. Another competitor who's seen success in major competitions, reaching stage 3 in comps like Robloxian Sasuke and Blue Ninja Warrior. Now this is his first time on the Judo Ninja Warrior course. Compared to others like Yas, he's inexperienced with this course. No problems with the conveyor hill though. That's an obstacle that's been failing to take anyone out for some time now. How about the log grip? No issues there either, very nice. Now Dip Keijo, he's a player for the Alaska Avalanche in Roblox Ninja League. I don't really know what happened to him though, given that he just stopped playing in the second half of the season, but each to their own, I guess. No issues with the jumping spider so far. Easily through it, through the squeeze, no problems at all for Dip. Taking his time on that difficult jump, and he's through it. Burning a little bit of the clock though. Now onto the logjam. We haven't seen anyone else go out here in a while. And ooh, that was a nice technique. It looked a little sketchy, but it got him through it. Now he's got 35 seconds left. He's got time on the clock as long as he makes it through these last 2 obstacles. Can he get through the shell toss? Just about. That was very close. He got caught in between the walls there. He barely managed to hang on. 22 seconds left. 1 jump away from clearing. Can he make it? Yes! He's just got to get up the rope now. Pulling himself up. 3 jumps, 2 jumps, 1 jump, and Dip is going to go through to the second stage with 8 seconds left on the clock. He's going to join Yas and the 13 others who have made it through stage 1. Congratulations to him. Our next competitor, number 96, is one of the best obbyists in the world, hailing from the UK. It is Skitsuna. Now, Skitsuna is one of the most famous, one of the most well-known obbyists in the world, often regarded as one of the top 3 best obbyists to ever play Roblox. He was the first victor of a horrific tower, he was the first victor of an unreal tower, but his results in Roblox Ninja have been sketchy, so to speak. He's appeared on the Roblox Ninja League and other competitions, but he's never managed to make it to the 3rd stage of a major competition before. Now this course, of course, it works in his favor, really, doesn't it? It's a lot less technical, a lot more focused on raw obbying skill, which is what Skitsuna is famous for. Let's see if he can book his ticket to the 2nd stage along with the 14 others so far. No issue on the conveyor hill. How about the log grip? This is an unfamiliar obstacle, but he gets through that very nicely, no problems. Onto the Pillars of Doom. Setting off each jump. And he's through it nicely. Took his time there. He's definitely an obbyist who's known for erring on the side of speed, not caution, but he's taking his time going through each obstacle so far. Plenty of time left as he makes his way through the jumping spider. These are all basic jumps, so I wouldn't expect him to struggle on any of these, and he's through it. Now onto another obstacle he might struggle with. Can he get that bounce off the second log? Yes, he can! Very nice. Plenty of time in the back for Skitsuna here. Can he get up the wall in one? No, he gets turned away. Running back for another attempt. 30 seconds left. And he's up it this time. Very nice. 2 obstacles left. Gets into that second shell. No problem squeezing through. He's got plenty of time left. On to the last obstacle. 2 jumps away. Gets it. 1 more jump. Can he climb it? Yes, he can. And he grabs onto the rope and he's pulling himself up. He's not going to beat the klaxon, but Skitsuna is going to book his ticket in the second stage, and Skitsuna clears with exactly 6 seconds remaining on the clock. A fantastic run. He almost got caught up on the warp wall back there, but overall you've got to say he did very well, very clean. We've seen nearly the entire field take on the course. Only 4 more competitors remain. Can any of them advance onwards to the second stage and join the 15 clears so far? This course has proven to be very difficult, very challenging, very brutal. But almost everyone has given it their all. And next up is another competitor who's known for doing very well in competitions, both in obbying and in Roblox Ninja Warrior. It's number 97, Cloy, hailing from Australia. Now Cloy, of course, the first person to clear Hachikor in Roblox Penultimate Parkour Master, rather. He's also someone who's achieved Kanzen Seiha in many competitions, most notably Ninja Warrior of Roblox Rising 1. Let's see if he can handle this course through the log grip very nicely, no problems there. Onto the Pillars of Doom, and he flies through it very fast. He's clearly confident here. Now Cloy is another horrific skill obbyist taking on the course, not unlike many others, but you'd have to say he's one of the best obbyists in terms of dual skill when it comes to both Roblox Ninja and regular obbying. I can't think of many other horrific skill obbyists who have this level of skill in Roblox Ninja. Plenty of time left. Onto the log jam. Can he get through this obstacle that's tripped up so many? Yes, very nice. That was textbook. Onto the warp wall now. Can he get up this in 1? Yes, he can. Plenty of time left. Taking a moment to breathe before the shell toss. Gets that first jump now for the squeeze. Very nice. No problems there. 2 jumps remaining. Can he get this first wedge jump? Setting it up, taking his time. 1 more jump left. And he sticks it. He's got plenty of time left. He's just got to pull himself up this rope. Cloy isn't going to be the fastest time, but he is going to get through to the second stage with 10 seconds remaining. Just beating the klaxon. A brilliant, brilliant performance. I don't think he was ever in doubt that he was going to make it to the second stage. From start to finish, a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant performance. Let's get a replay on that. You can see there was no particular obstacle where he had any issues. He took his time, he was steady, and he easily breezed through the course. You've got to say, watching that performance, that he's got to be one of the favorites to go far in this competition. Well, hoping to follow in the footsteps of Dipke Joe, Skitsuna, and Cloy, and continue this late clear streak, is one of the most successful Roblox Ninja competitors of all time. It's number 98, Shadow Miles XE, also known as Sushika. Now, Shadow Miles has been at the top of his game for years now. He's Kanzen Seiha'd most famously in Blue Ninja Warrior 17. He's been at the pinnacle of his game for many years, probably since 2021. Now Shadow has appeared on this course once before. Unfortunately, he went out on the jumping spider in stage 1. It was an unfortunate fail, but we all know the potential he has, and I'm hoping to see him get through to the second stage in his second appearance on Judo Ninja Warrior today. Preparing to start his run. And off he goes. Now Shadow Miles, He's put in a lot of practice on this course, trying to speedrun it for a perfect time, so I'm sure he's going to be going fast. Onto the log grip, round onto the backside, and he's going to get through it very nicely indeed. Moving on to the Pillars of Doom now. A little hesitation, but he's through it perfectly. No issues there so far, looking very clean so far. Onto the jumping spider, gets that first jump. He's flying through it. Can he get the long jump? Yes. Now for the downward section of the obstacle. Getting him. No! What happened? I don't believe it. He just bumped his head on the roof and didn't manage to get the distance to make it to that second last platform. Let's get a replay on that. I mean, he was perfectly through the first half of the obstacle. And then, yeah, he just went sideways, didn't grab the ledge, and he just slipped. With only 2 remaining, number 99 and 100 are both competitors who have made it to the 3rd stage in previous Judo Ninja Warrior tournaments. Only the best of the best remain, those who have proven their skill time and time again on this course. And the first of those 2 to take part will be number 99, veteran of Tournament 2, Fomalom. Walking up to the start line, prepared, ready. Fomalom is a competitor who dreams of achieving Kanzen Seiha. One of the most consistent competitors over the last few years. In recent times, he's made it far into almost every competition he attempts. He's a competitor who in his debut tournament in Tournament 2 managed to make it to the 3rd stage, joining only 2 other people. Unfortunately, he went out on what is widely regarded as the hardest obstacle of all Judo Ninja Warrior, the flying bar. Let's see if he can keep up his clear streak on Judo Ninja Warrior and become the 16th person to advance to stage 2. Easily through the conveyor hill, no problems. Holding onto the log grip for dear might, and he's through it. Choosing to land on the landing pad. Not something that other competitors have done. Taking his time on the Pillars of Doom! What a save! Incredible! He slipped inside the 3rd pillar, but somehow managed to escape it. Maybe a little shaken. Let's see if that makes his nerves get to him. Taking his time on the jumping spider here. Slow and steady through each jump. The clock running down, but he's getting through it nicely. And no! No! What happened? He just walks off. He slips off that last jump. In almost the same fashion as Shadow. And Fomalom has taken an early bath. Let's get another look at that replay. So, he was fine through most of the jumping spider again. Stuck the landing, went forward. And then just walked off. Just held W for a little bit too long and slipped off. 99 competitors have taken on the course. 16 of them have come out victorious. There's only 1 man left to take on the 1st stage of Judo Ninja Warrior 3. The only person to have reached the stage 3 on 2 separate occasions. Your Mr. 100, Bowsy Pie. Now Bowsy Pie is a competitor who is well regarded as one of the greatest of all time in modern Roblox Ninja Warrior, having achieved Kanzen Seiha in Tournament 20 and 21 of Blue Ninja Warrior, as well as many other competitions. He's regarded as one of the greatest of all time. Now Bowsy Pie has appeared on Judo Ninja Warrior twice, in Tournament 1 and Tournament 2, and in both times he made it through to the 3rd stage, becoming the last man standing in Tournament 2. He'll be hoping to continue his clear streak years on after his attempt on Judo Ninja Warrior 2. He'll be hoping to join the competitors who have so far booked their place in the 2nd stage, and maybe go through to the 3rd stage yet again. And he's off! No issues with this first obstacle so far. I mean, with a competitor of this stature, you wouldn't expect him to struggle. His friends, K-Fly and Yas123451, in the background watching him. No problems with these first 2 obstacles. Speeding through the Pillars of Doom, no problems. Just over a minute remaining as he approaches the jumping spider. We saw Shadow Miles XC and Fomalom go out on this obstacle. How will Bowsy do? Upward section, no problem. Through the squeeze. Now the downward section, can he stick this jump? Yes, he can! Almost falls off, but he just about manages to get through. 50 seconds remaining, he's through onto the back half of the course. We haven't seen many people go out on the back half. How will he handle the log jam? No issues, through it nicely. Onto the warp wall. He's got plenty of time, he can afford to make a mistake here, but he's up and in one. 35 seconds left onto the shell toss. Gets that first jump, can he get the squeeze? Yes, yes he can! One obstacle remaining for Bowsy Pie to get through. 2 jumps remaining. Can he stick this wedge jump? No! No, he can't! Bowsy Pie comes up short at the very last obstacle of stage 1. I don't even know what went wrong. Let's watch it again. So he jumps onto that first wedge. Seems to be completely in control. I don't know, he just jumps too early. Doesn't jump late enough and isn't able to grab onto that second wedge, and Bowsy Pie has gone out on the first stage. Welcome to the second stage. Only 16 competitors remain from our original field of 100, and they'll have to tackle 7 brand new, more difficult obstacles. While the first stage focuses on overall skill, stage 2 will push your speed and precision to its limits. The time limit is 15 seconds lower than the first stage, starting with the downhill jump. You'll have to ride the block down the ramp, and then make a grab onto the rope, sliding your way down, and landing safely on the mat. After that, you'll have to take on the iconic salmon ladder. Grab onto the bar and pull it up 6 sets of rungs until you reach the top set of rungs. Any mistake could cause you to lose your grip and plummet into the water. Following that, the unstable bridges. You have to grab onto each side of the bridge with your hands and swing from one to the next. Be careful because the second one can tilt to the side and make you lose your grip. Afterwards, Cannonball Alley. You'll have to jump from cannonball to cannonball. Each one gets smaller as you progress, so you'll have to be careful and watch your footing. After the Cannonball Alley comes the Broken Balance Tank. This is a balance-oriented obstacle. Ride the tank, stay on top, don't lose your balance, then grab onto the trapeze and swing your way to the rope to make it through. After that, you'll have to take on the backstream. Take a dunk into the water tank and swim through while propeller jets try to push you back against the currents. You'll have to grab onto the ladder and climb up, and then take on the final obstacle, the Advanced Parley, where you'll have to do a randomized math problem with whatever little time you have left, get through the gates, and make your way to the finish line. If you can do all those 7 obstacles, you'll have one final challenge remaining, the Heartbreaker. It's an untimed obstacle, no time limits. You gotta climb up the underside of the wooden boards, and make a leap of faith 180 degrees over the water to grab onto the other side, pull yourself up, and slam the buzzer to get through to stage 3. We've got 16 competitors ready to take on the second stage. How many of them are going to make it through these 8 obstacles and go on to advance to the grueling third stage? Well, first up on the second stage today, as the sun sets and the moon comes up, is number 12, IIOMQ Shimmer. It's their first time in Stage 2 of Judo Ninja Warrior. They cleared the first stage with less than 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Let's see if they can continue this debut run and make it to the third stage. And Shimmer's off, gets onto the rope. No early mistake. Can they make the dismount? No problem at all. Onto the salmon ladder. They grab onto the bar, get that first jump, and the second, and the third. Can they get up to the 5th set of rungs? Yes, they can. Now the big jump to the 6th set, and they make it onto the unstable bridges. Gets the first one in 2 swings. Are they going to go for a big swing? Yes, they are. Onto the Cannonball Alley. Great time left. Plenty of time. Can they get this first jump? Setting it up. Can they? No! Oh, they've slipped off. They didn't try to climb the second ball, and that seems to have been their downfall on the Cannonball Alley, as they come up short. But a brilliant, brilliant debut run from Shimmer to make it deep into stage 2. The next competitor to take on the second stage is obbyist Luca Look. It's also his first time in stage 2. In fact, everyone taking on the second stage bar one competitor is a newcomer. Now Luca, a lot more well known in the Roblox speedrunning obby community and the general main obby community, showed great speed on the first stage and managed to clear with 5 seconds remaining. Luke has been putting in a lot of practice to prepare for this competition. He made it count on the first stage. Let's see if he can make it count on the second stage. And Luca begins his run, going sideways, and grabs onto that rope. He went a little bit low, but he managed to hang on. No problem with the dismount. Onto the salmon ladder. How will he approach it? Gets that second jump, and the third, and the fourth. Now for the big jump. No hesitation, through it fast and clean. Unstable bridge is not posing a problem for him either. He gets the second one real tangled up, but he gets through it in the end. Can he pass the cannonball alley where Shimmer failed? Yes, gets the first jump. Now for the second, and he's through. He's going to be the first person to take on the balance tank. Trying to build up momentum as he goes down the track. Leaps for the bar, grabs on. Building up swing here. Just over 30 seconds remaining. And no! Luca loses his grip as he tries to build up swing on the bar, on the trapeze. And he slips off. He'd done nearly everything difficult. But he just couldn't hang on. He ran out of stamina. Let's take another look at that fail. So he's building up swing because he doesn't want to undershoot that jump to the rope, but he looks a little uncomfortable. As he goes in for that final swing, he just climbs the part. And he doesn't get carried on the platform, and he gets dumped off. Well, our third competitor taking on stage 2 is Tiny Toast 717, a regular performer in the Roblox Ninja League and Roblox Ultimate Penultimate Parkour Master community. Now, Tiny Toast, he wanted this number 23. He was pinned down to be in the 80s or the 90s because he's a very skilled overall competitor. But he ended up becoming the third person to clear stage 1. Flying through the salmon ladder here. 1 minute remaining. One swing on the unstable bridge. And the second one poses no problem either. Now, for the cannonball alley where we saw Shims go out. Gets that hard jump. And he lands the second jump and he's through onto the balance tank, where we just saw Luca go out. Using a different approach to roll the tank down. Now for the jump. And no! He can't hang onto the bar. He undershot his jump. Jumped too late. And he loses his grip and falls off before he can hang onto the bar properly. What a massive shame. He looked so clean throughout stage 2. We can see he just jumped too late, got too low, and he climbed that platform, and as it swung forward, he lost his grip and fell into the water. Well, our next competitor, a friend of Tiny Toast, number 34, Zuzi Coden, also known as Unusual Dark. He's another member of the Roblox speedrunning community. A few of them did quite well, in fact. Let's see if he can avenge his friends and become the first stage 2 clear. Hanging onto the side of the rope. No problem with a downhill jump. Onto the salmon ladder. We've not seen anyone struggle with this so far. And Zuzi Coden making it look easy. Light work. Onto the unstable bridges. Going for that one swing technique and it pays off, but he almost undershot that second jump. Now for Cannonball Alley. Gets that first jump. Now for the second one. Big jumps, but he makes them both. Now for the balance tank. We've seen 2 competitors in a row go out here. Can Zuzi Coden break that streak? Grabs onto the bar. And goes for it in one swing and grabs onto the rope. Incredible form. Just over 30 seconds left as he goes into the back stream. As you saw in the preview. Gotta make your way through each of those walls while swimming against the current. 25 seconds left, but he's caught up. Manages to fit through in the end, but that drained a good 5 seconds. 15 seconds left. The klaxon's going to start sounding soon. On to the parlay. He's got a negative question. 43 minus 97. The klaxon's sounding. He's running out of time. He's got to put an answer in soon. He gets it right, and he's going to make it to the finish platform with 1 second remaining. He really cut it close there. Now, the final obstacle of stage 2, the Heartbreaker. As you know, completely untimed. You got to work your way across the underside of the board, then climb up, then repeat. Gets that first head hitter. Now on to... Ooh! Slips down, but he barely hangs on. And he slips down again! A little nervy. He did take a long time to break, which we cut out the footage, but I don't know how his stamina's holding up. That lactic acid in his arms. Making his way along the underside of the second board. Can he get the head hitter? Yes, he can! One jump left! Can he stick it? Yes! And Zuzi Coden is going to be our first Stage 2 clear. And he's going to advance to the third stage. The first person in 4 attempts to make it to Stage 3. It wasn't a run without issues, but he pulled through just about in the end. Let's take another look. He showed fine form on the first few obstacles, as did everyone else. On the Cannonball Alley, he used a good technique to make each jump. No obstacle proved difficulty until the Heartbreaker, where he slipped down, but he managed to recover and push through to the third stage. Next up on the second stage, the Polish obbyist Ufi, the light defender. Our first catastrophic skill obbyist pushing Horrific to take on the second stage. He's got the highest raw skill of anyone to take on the course so far on the second stage. Let's see if he can become our second clear and join Zuzi Coden! What happened? Oh my god. He just totally undershot the first jump. Slips off the rope Nagano style. And he's eliminated himself early. What an enormous shame. Well, we've had 5 competitors take on the second stage. 4 of them have fallen by the wayside to these 7 even more difficult obstacles. But we still have a host of obbyists lined up, ready to take on this second stage. And next up is businessman Antonomator. An extremely profitable fellow, the richest person on the second stage. More seriously, another Roblox penultimate parkour competitor. And he also gets caught by the gates, but he's got it. Let's see if he can at least do better than Ufi and make it to the second obstacle of the second stage. Gets that first jump, and he's through the downhill jump, no problems. Onto the salmon ladder. No one's gone out on this so far. Up to the third rung, and the fourth, and the fifth, and he bangs his head, and he fails the salmon ladder. No way! He just couldn't make that lache up to the 6th out of rungs. And Businessman has taken an early dive. Let's take another look. So those first 5 pull-ups proved no issues for him. But then on that last jump, he just banged his head, didn't jump out far enough. And he couldn't recover. Next up on the course, we're into the 70s. Australian obbyist Hyper Fantasies, the victor of at least 30 horrific towers by this point. He put on a stellar performance in Stage 1. Seems to like changing his avatar pretty frequently, as he's got a new one on for Stage 2. Let's see if he can avenge his fallen comrades and make it to the third stage. And he's off. Gets the jump onto the downhill jump, holding onto that rope, and he's through it, no problem. Onto the salmon ladder, using the same technique as Antonomator. Onto the 5th set, can he get the last jump? Yes, he can. Now the unstable bridges, we've not seen anyone fail that, but he got very close to failing that transition between the ledges. Gets that first jump on the downhill jump, and the second, and he's through. Plenty of time in the bag, 45 seconds as he approaches the balance tank. Full risk, he says. Hope he's not planning to do something stupid. And he's going to go for it, and in one swing, just like Zuzi Coden, gets onto the rope. He's got plenty of time here as long as he doesn't make a mistake and get caught up. Through the backstream much quicker than Zuzi Coden. He's got plenty of time left, 25 seconds to solve one math problem. onto the parlay. Gotta take his time. Wrong answer here, and he falls into the water. Can he get it? Yes! And Hyperfantasies becomes the second person to reach the Heartbreaker, beating the Klaxon. No hesitation here. Not taking much of a break to prepare his nerves. Onto that first upward section. No issues for him there. Now traversing the downwards part of the plank. Can he get this ledge grab? Yes, he can. Gets the second head hitter. One jump left. He gets it! And Hyperfantasies pulls himself up and becomes the second person to beat stage 2 and advance onwards to the third stage. 7 competitors have taken it on. 2 have cleared it. Hyperfantasies will join Zuzi Koden in the third stage. What a brilliant run that was. I mean, that run, except for that mistake on the unstable bridge where he almost didn't make it, was pretty much flawless. Great technique if risky. He's managed to make his way through to the third stage with aplomb. We've seen about half the field take on the second stage. The newcomers, the less experienced competitors, and we've had a decent clear record so far. Next competitor taking on the course, number 78, Java Jane 3. It's his first time in stage 2 of any Roblox Ninja Warrior competition. He put on a great show in stage 1. Classy performance. Let's see if he can continue this miracle run into stage 2. Off he goes. Grabs onto the rope. Hangs on well and makes the dismount. Past the first obstacle onto the salmon ladder. Gets that first jump. Gets up to the second set of rungs. Taking his time. Doesn't want to make a mistake and lose his grip. He's through it. Nicely done. Might want to pick up the pace just a little. Taking his time to set up his jump to the unstable bridge. And he's through it, but he's a bit low on time. Onto the Cannonball Alley. Can he get this first long jump setting up? No, he can't. He didn't jump late enough and unfortunately was not able to grab onto the second ball, and he's taken a dive. It was a good try. Let's take another look. So, you know, he set up pretty well for that first jump, but then at least I think from what I could see, he just didn't jump late enough. Yeah, and couldn't quite grab on. A good attempt, though. The last competitor in the 70s to take on the course. Number 78, hailing from the state of California. It's Senstrix, who put in the fastest clear in stage 1. Locking in at 17 seconds left on the clock. It was an excellent speed run. Of course, stage 2 is all about speed, so that skill should help him. He was faster than any veteran of Roblox Ninja, really putting his name out there as a potential threat to go all the way to stage 3 and further. Let's see how he will handle the stage 2 course. Ooh, a bit of lag there. I thought he didn't jump, but he did make it. And sticks that dismount. Bit of a laggy run, but should be alright. Getting up the salmon ladder with good pace. Gets that big jump, and he's through onto the unstable bridge. A little bit of lag on it, but he manages to make it through just about. Much faster pace than Java Jane. How will he handle Cannonball Alley? No! He undershoots it as well! 2 fails in a row on the exact same obstacle. Oh, what a shame. He looked like he had so much potential going forward, but just couldn't manage to jump far enough. Let's take a look again. So, he sets up for that jump the same way as Java Jane, takes a few jumps to prepare. And yeah, he just doesn't quite jump far enough and he isn't able to grab on. We've seen more than half of the pack attempt stage 2. We're getting down to the back half of the runners to take on the second stage today. With only 2 clears after 9 attempts, the remaining competitors are under extra pressure to make sure that this doesn't turn into a bloodbath. And next up is Ramp 0707, the number 1 obbyist in general out of all of the continent of Asia. Now I know they've been practicing extensively for this, as they do with everything they do. Every obby they do, they put in over practice to make sure that they can do the best they can. Let's see if it'll pay off for them as they approach the salmon ladder. Up the first 2 sets of rungs. And they're getting through nicely. Can they get the last jump? Yes, they can. Onto the unstable bridge. Lag doesn't seem to be affecting them here, which is good. Goes for an unusual strategy there, but they're through. Now, we saw Senstrix go out here. Can Ramp make it? No! They can't. And in the same way as Java Jane and Senstrix before them, Ramp takes a swan dive on the Cannonball Alley and unfortunately has gone out early on the second stage. But a brilliant attempt. Well, next up, number 87 is Zero Gravity, the leader of the Blind Fate Sedai, a group of obbyists who have dedicated themselves over the last few months to training relentlessly for Roblox Ninja Warrior. He stunned everyone by clearing the first stage in excellent fashion, the only member of that group to do so. Let's see if he can continue the streak and make it to stage 3. No problem down the downhill jump. Through it nicely. Now he moves on to the salmon ladder. Up onto the third set of rungs. And the fourth. And the fifth. Last jump. Gets it. Very nice. Just under a minute remaining. Ooh. A little close on the unstable bridges. And he has... No! He loses his grip at the end. And Zero goes out early. He went to make the leap for the dismount, but he wasn't able to jump off. The bridge slipped in his hands. Let's get another look at that. So you can see he has trouble with the first jump, but barely makes it. And then as he sets up for that second jump in the dismount, the bridge is already wobbling, and he just doesn't jump off. The bridge goes upside down. Well, we've seen 10 competitors take on stage 2. And the course after those 2 clears is proving to be extremely brutal. Can any of the remaining competitors join Hyper Fantasies and Zuzi Koden in the notorious third stage? Up next, 2-time champion of the Roblox Ninja League, Roblox Ninja Warrior veteran, Floor Digits, also known as Basebeak. He's reached stage 3 and beyond in many major competitions. He's never appeared on Judo Ninja Warrior before though. Let's see if he can handle these purest obstacles. No issue with the downhill jump. Time limit so far hasn't proved to be particularly difficult for our competitors. They've all had plenty time left, but they've just gone out due to the sheer difficulty of the course. But Basebeak makes the salmon ladder look like a walk in the park, and oh, he's got the unstable bridge all messed up. Can he recover? It's shaking from side to side. No, he can't. What an unfortunate fail. That really is unfortunate. I don't know what went wrong there. He went for the jump to the second unstable bridge, but he just got stuck on it, wasn't able to make the jump. And from there on in, it was a backwards battle, really, an uphill battle to try and make that jump. Had the bridge swinging from side to side, and in the end, couldn't get anywhere near. Well, we're down to just the last 4 competitors to take on the second stage. We've seen 12 attempts, and only 2 clears. It's been an absolute nightmare for our stage 2 competitors, but this man right here is determined to change that and break this failed streak and go into the third stage. It's the only non-newcomer to take on stage 2, Yas 123451. Now Yas, of course, a veteran of Roblox Ninja Warrior, regarded as one of the best Roblox Ninja focused competitors in the past 5 years. He had a great performance on the first stage. Let's see if he can continue that. Onto the salmon ladder. Gets that first jump. Now for the second jump! No, what happened? That's unbelievable. Yas just messed up on the salmon ladder. That's a fail I really did not expect his fellow competitor Bowsy Pie there comforting him. Let's see what happened. So that first jump, he had no problem. His technique was fine, but then in the same way that Antonomator went out, he just banged his head on that second head hitter and plummets early. Well, 13 attempts, 3 competitors remaining to take on stage 2. This course has proven immeasurably difficult. But our next competitor is hoping to change all that. It's number 95, Dip Keijo. An entourage of fellow competitors and friends walking up with him to the start line. Dip Keijo, a well-renowned well-respected, high-profile competitor in Roblox Ninja. He's made it to stage 3 and beyond in more majors than I can count. Can he add Judo Ninja Warrior to that list of achievements on his record? DK Joe preparing to take off, and he begins his run. No issue with the downhill jump, but he almost didn't hang on there. That would have been an embarrassing fail. Onto the salmon ladder. Gets past where Yas failed, moving up, and easily through it, no hesitation on each transfer. Can he get the dismount of the unstable bridge? Yes, he can. Now, can he get past the cannonball alley? Yes, he makes the jump so many failed. Can he get the second jump? Yes, he can. And DK Joe is onto the back half of stage 2, onto the balance tank. He's got plenty of time remaining, over 40 seconds. Can he grab onto the trapeze? Yes, he can. And he's going to go for it in one swing, and he's through. Onto the back stream, just over 30 seconds remaining. Swimming against the current, powering through. Gets through that tight gap, and he's through. He's got plenty of time left, over 20 seconds, as he slides down the ramp onto the parlay. Can he do it? Oh, that's a really easy question. And DK Joe goes through onto the Heartbreaker. He's done everything so far. We've not seen anyone fail this obstacle. Can DK Joe become the third person to make it to the third stage? He's taking his time. DK Joe, very much a Roblox Ninja focused competitor, not used to this raw obbying. You can see fellow competitors in the background there. Onto the second downhill board, the second ledge grab jump. Taking his time setting it up. A little uncomfortable. He's got to be quick or he's going to gas out. Gets into the climbing position. And he makes it. And he gets the head hitter. One jump away. Can he get it? Yes! Yes, he can! And DK Joe is going to go through to the third stage. He's going to be the third competitor out of 14 attempts to advance to stage 3. He's booked his ticket in. That was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant run. He had no problems with any of the obstacles that other competitors struggled on. He made it all look easy. He really showed his acumen, proved himself worthy, and DK Joe has booked his ticket in the third stage. We'll see him later tonight. Well, the Cannonball Alley today has proven to be extremely destructive, the hardest obstacle on stage 2. But of course, every obstacle on this stage is deadly, even the time killers. With 2 more competitors left, next up, the British world-famous obbyist Skitsuna, the verifier of the first Horrific and the first Unreal Iso Tower. A little bit of a slip-up at the start there. But let's see how he will handle the second stage. This stage should be catered to his obbying skills. Bit of a slow start. Can he make that first jump? What? I don't believe it. And Skitsuna takes an early dive on the second stage. Didn't even manage to grab onto the rope. I don't believe it. Let's take another look at that. I had really high hopes for Skit's performance here, but he just jumped way too late, and the rope slipped between his hands, and he's out early. Well, with only 1 competitor remaining, 15 have taken on the second stage. Only 3 have prevailed. We've seen obbyists and Roblox Ninja veterans alike fall at this stage's devilish obstacles. Only 1 man remains. Number 97. The final stage 1 clear. Hailing from Australia, it's Cloy. Cloy, of course, achieved Kanzen Seiha in Ninja Warrior of Roblox. He's beaten multiple Horrific Towers, and so his skill set is suited more than most to this stage. Let's see if he can make it 4 stage 2 clears. And he's off. Gets past the jump Skitsuna failed. And he threw the downhill jump, no problem. Onto the salmon ladder. First jump, no problem. Looks comfortable, taking his time between each jump, doesn't want to make a mistake here. All the pressure of 96 others are on him right now. And he's through the unstable bridge, no issues. Just over 50 seconds left. Can he get the cannonball jump? Yes! Yes, he can. Can he get the second jump? Yes, he can! He's through Cannonball Alley. Onto the 5th obstacle of stage 2. Can he stick the balance tank? Going for an unorthodox method. Walking against the tank, gets the jump, barely. Taking a second swing here. And he's cleared it. 2 obstacles left. He's got plenty of time left. 30 seconds. If he gets through the backstream with time, he'll have enough time for the parlay. Struggling to get past it, but he's through. 20 seconds remaining. He's pushing hard. Has he got energy left to do the mental question? It's a tough one. He's going to sit here. He's going to take his time to think the answer, but he's got it. With just under 10 seconds left, Chloe has made his way through to the final obstacle of stage 2. Onto the Heartbreaker. Incredibly menacing obstacle, but we've seen everyone who took it on so far clear it. Chloe having a lot less trouble than Dipk Joe. Of course, he's used to this kind of gameplay. Can he get that second ledge grab? Yes, he can. Now for the final flip. Can he make it? Yes! Yes, he can, and Chloe is going to be the 4th and final competitor to make it through to the 3rd stage. He's booked his ticket in stage 3. An incredible, incredible run. Finally, he says, he makes it through to the 3rd stage of a competition. His run, you've got to say, it was nearly flawless. He used some unorthodox strategies, but he powered through it on raw skill and determination alone. And Chloe will be heading through to the 3rd stage. Welcome to the 3rd stage. 8 incredibly grueling obstacles. The hardest obstacles in the entire Judo Ninja Warrior course, and possibly of any Roblox Ninja competition. Only 4 of 100 remain to take on these obstacles. There's no time limit on the 3rd stage. You're allowed to take rest breaks in between obstacles, catch your breath, and prepare your nerves. That's due to the extreme difficulty of these obstacles, which starts with the rumbling dice. You have to rumble the dice down the track by pushing against the sides, as you can see. It has to stop at the yellow marker, or else you'll be disqualified. Next up, the curtain cling. There's 3 slanted trusses that you'll have to flick to, and flick in between them. If you reach the top black part, you'll be stunned and you'll fall into the water. After that is the V floating boards. 5 boards with diagonals sticking out on the sides that you'll have to wrap around and make long jumps to get between each one. And after that, the brutal, shin-crazy cliffhanger. You'll have to traverse between 3 ledges, going up and then down, and then do a horizontal 180-degree flip to the 4th ledge. After that is a vertical limit. You'll have to hang onto a 1 centimeter ledge and wall hop your way from the 1st to the 2nd ledge, and then reach the rest platform. After that, there are no more rest platforms. The 6th obstacle is the jumping bars. Simple and explanatory, lâché from bar to bar, going down the sets. After that, you'll have to take on Truss Junction. It works similarly to the Sidewinder from Sasuke. You got to move your way around each truss. The 2nd and the 4th ones fall when you grab them, so you got to be prepared for the shock. And if you can get through all those obstacles, you'll have to take on the pipe slider. You got to push that pipe down the track, make sure it doesn't dislodge and fall into the water, and then grab onto a 2nd pipe where you'll have to make a drop to make it to the finish platform. We have only 4 competitors remaining to take on the 3rd stage. Can any of them defy the odds and make it to the final tower? Let's find out. The first of 4 to take on the 3rd stage is Zuzi Koden. His first time in stage 3 of a competition. Now Zuzi Koden, of course, a member of the Roblox Ultimate Parkour Master community. But surely his nerves must be through the roof, facing this 3rd stage course. He begins with the rumbling dice. Every single obstacle on this course, except the Shin Crazy Cliffhanger and Vertical Limit, has never been attempted in competition before. Now the rumbling dice, not so much a killer, rather a time waster. Just gotta survive that drop, which he does. Gotta make sure you keep pushing that dice down the track, don't want to lose your rhythm. Now onto the curtain cling. Gotta hang on to those curtains that are slanted against you. Flick to the edge. and then make the transition between them without falling into the water. And he gets the first transition. Gotta take your time on this obstacle. Don't go too high. Ooh, he's really chancing it with the black part above. If you touch that, you'll be stunned. You'll fall into the water. Onto the last curtain. He's onto it. Just gotta flick around and make the dismount now. Getting around it carefully. No! And Zuzi Koden, he just went too high. Didn't check where the black part was above him, the roof. Banged his head and lost his grip. That is a really, really unfortunate fail. He had everything on that obstacle completed, but he just lost track of his perception, climbed up too high in his haste to get off, and he falls into the water just like that. That's how brutal the third stage is. Well, we've seen 1 of 4 go out. 3 competitors remain, only 3. The determination, the courage the 97 competitors before them put into this course, it all rests on their shoulders. And first up of the remaining 3 is Hyperfantasies. He had an excellent performance in stage 1, an even better one in stage 2. He cleared both stages, beating the klaxon almost. He's really never looked in doubt on these 2 stages. Let's see if his confidence can continue onto the 3rd stage. Of course, while there is no time limit, these obstacles are miles harder than the 1st and 2nd stages. So it really comes down to raw skill. And Hyperfantasies begins his attempt on the 3rd stage. Going at a good pace, survives the drop. Rumbling that dice down the track. Perfect form. Now onto the curtain cling. We saw Zuzi Koden manage these first 2 transitions, but go out. Let's see if Hyperfantasies has learned from that. I'm sure he will have. Taking his time, flicking around. 1 wrong move on here, and you could lose your grip and fall into the water. You've got to be careful. You can see those slanted trusses. Getting into position for that 2nd transition, and he gets it. Going down nice and low. Very good. That's where you want to be. Flicking around. Staying well below the roof. And Hyperfantasies, gotta make the dismount. He gets it. He's gonna be the first person to take on the floating boards. Now, each of these boards, you gotta wrap around and then make an extremely long jump to the next one. You can see he's using that climb diagonal setup on each board. Serving him well so far. Only 1 jump to go. And he gets it. Now, onto the crazy cliffhanger. Only 2 people have ever attempted this obstacle, and they both cleared it, but it's been made a lot harder. Gotta make that big jump to the 3rd ledge. Taking his time. Gets it. Now for the diagonal flip. The horizontal flip, rather. And he sticks it! Very nice. Now, this is the obstacle no one's cleared. The vertical limit. Wall hopping his way to this transition. Can he get it? Yes! Can he make it? Can he make it? Yes, he can! Hyperfantasies has become the first person to clear the vertical limit in competition. We saw FX Rail and Bowsy Pie go out on it in Tournament 2. But Hyperfantasies becomes the first person to advance past it into uncharted territory on stage 3. So confident through the obstacle. Didn't even hesitate before making that transition. Incredible form and confidence. Onto the 6th obstacle of stage 3. I've never said that before. The jumping bars. Very simple. 4 cylindrical ledges that you must lâcher to. He's through it. Onto Trust Junction. He really isn't slowing down. Doesn't want to let that lactic acid get to him, but he's got to be careful. Gets that first drop. Now this 3rd trust doesn't drop, but the last one does, and it's very, very short, only 6 studs high. Barely higher than your character. Can he get it? Can he get it? Yes! Yes, he can! And Hyperfantasies is 1 obstacle away if he can just make this transition to the rest bar. Yes! Hyperfantasies is 1 obstacle away from making history. On the pipe slider. Tenderly pushing it down the track. You push it too far in either direction, and it'll dislodge. He's 1 bar away. All he's got to do, survive the drop, push it to the end of the track, and make the dismount. He can see the win platform from here. He can see his ticket to the final stage. One pipe between him and a shot at victory. Taking his time, finally resting, preparing for this obstacle mentally. Can he do it? He's so close. The end is in sight. He's preparing for it. Goes for it in one big push. Can he stick it? No! No, he can't! Hyperfantasies! He couldn't hang on to the bar. The bar went diagonal. And it's fallen off the track. He was so close. He was within reach of the final stage. But he's barely come up short. I don't believe it. Let's take another look. He grabs onto the bar. Right in the middle. And then instead of pushing it to the end and making the drop, he goes for it in one huge push. And he looks fine. But the bar, you can see it goes diagonal, it goes slanted. And then it's sliding to the left, and there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. What an almighty shame. 2 attempts on this third stage, and neither one of them have proven successful. We got very, very close. But the quality of competitors is only going to go up. We've got 2 veterans, all-stars of Roblox Ninja Warrior, to take on the course. Both of them will be feeling the pressure at this point. They know they're the only people standing between the final stage and this tournament ending at stage 3. The first of those 2, Dipk Joe. This stage 3 might prove to be very difficult for him because it's unlike stage 2, a very purist-oriented stage. You need to have incredibly fine and precise obbying skills to make it through some of these obstacles. No problem with the rumbling dice. Pushes it to the end of the track. Next up, the curtain cling. This is going to be the first real challenge for him on this stage. Jumps up onto the first curtain. Carefully making his way across. He doesn't want to make the same mistake that Susie Coden did. Getting ready for the transition. He's a bit far in. Ooh, that's a very risky strategy, but he makes it work. Onto the second curtain. Is he going to try again? It's a very, very risky approach. Is it going to pay off? No! No, it won't. And Dipk Joe used a very risky technique on the curtain cling, and in the end it backfired on him. And he didn't get a proper jump off, and he's lost his grip and slipped into the water. Let's watch again. So what you're meant to do, as we saw Hyper do, is flick off, but he instead tried jumping off and tried to gain height, but of course because the truss is slanted, he ended up getting caught while trying to jump and didn't get any height. And Dip takes an early dip. Well, we've seen 99 competitors take on the course, and one by one, every single one of them succumbed to the obstacles and fell into the water. The hopes and dreams and ambitions of all 99 competitors rest upon the shoulders of one man, and one man only, and that's Chloe, the final competitor left standing against the course, against the third stage, against this steel mountain. He proved to be extremely talented, getting through the first stage with ease, finally breaking an unlucky streak to get past the second stage. All of the pressure of all of the competitors before him now weigh on his shoulders and his shoulders alone. Can Chloe do the unthinkable and push past his own limits and make it to the final stage? We're about to find out. Using a diagonal technique for the rumbling dice. It's risky, very risky, but he's through it nicely. Just got to get it to the end of the track. Nicely done. Onto the curtain cling. We saw Susie Coden go out here. We saw Dipk Joe go out here. It's taken out 2 of 3 competitors who attempted this stage so far. Makes that first transition. Now for the harder one. Can he make it? Chloe setting up here. Getting as high as he can. Oh, that was extremely close. But he barely hung onto the bottom of the curtain. Just the dismount now. Can he get it? And he's through. He can take a breath. That was very, very close to the edge. 6 more obstacles ahead of him. How intimidating it must be to stand in his position right now. Next up, the floating boards. We haven't seen anyone fail this yet, but it's a very technically demanding obstacle. You've got to be precise on those wraparounds. You've got to jump late and get the angle right. Onto the 4th board. This is the hard transition, the last one. Can he get it? Taking his time to set it up. Going diagonally. Is he going to make it? No! No, he bounced off! He bounced off the edge of the platform. And Chloe, like 99 before him, is in the water. And this tournament, Judah Ninja Warrior 3, has come to a conclusion. There will be no final stage. There will be no glorious victory. It was a valiant effort by Chloe. He got through the first 2 obstacles even though he struggled. And despite taking his time trying to get the angle right, the jump right, I don't know what went wrong, we'll see it here. He just bounced off, just unlucky. What a shame. Well, I've got to say thank you to all of you watching. Thank you to everyone who competed. It's been a wonderful few months of hosting and editing and preparing for this broadcast. No one was able to defeat the course this time, but maybe in the next installment we'll see a champion of Judah Ninja Warrior!